probably seen a massive headline at some point saying,
"Jellyfish are taking over the ocean." Jellyfish populations naturally fluctuate, and blooms have occurred long before modern human impacts. So seeing a jellyfish bloom doesn't automatically mean that something is wrong. Hey guys, welcome back to the Love Your Ocean podcast. If you're new here, I'm Taylor, a shark educator with Zen for Blue, and I'm so excited that you're here with us today. If you're passionate about marine life, conservation, and learning more about the incredible creatures that call our oceans home, you're in the right place. Here at Zen for Blue, our mission is to inspire ocean stewardship through education, conservation, and building connections. Every episode, we dive into fascinating ocean topics, we share conservation stories, and help turn curiosity into action. So whether you're joining us from the beach, the classroom, the car, or anywhere in between, thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. Now grab your snorkel, take a deep breath, and let's dive right in. Let's get to the video. Hey fish friends, and welcome back to the Love Your Ocean podcast, a Zen for Blue podcast where we dive into the weird, wild, beautiful, and sometimes completely unhinged world beneath the surface. And I say we very intentionally because Love Your Ocean officially has a co-host.
"It's me!"
Yes, and if you've listened to the last couple episodes, then you already know Reece. She's my little sister, a fellow ocean lover, and the person I somehow keep convincing to sit down in front of a microphone with me.
At this point, we don't even have to convince me. I'm committed.
Which may or may not have been a mistake on my part.
Way too late now.
So from here on out, we're diving into these episodes together, talking about incredible species, conservation, ocean news, and whatever else we find fascinating.
And occasionally questioning what exactly the ocean was thinking.
Which brings us perfectly into today's episode, because this month we're talking about an animal that genuinely looks like it should have arrived here on a spaceship.
No brain.
No heart.
No bones.
Some have 24 eyes.
Some glow.
And one species can basically hit the reset button on its own life cycle.
And today we're talking about
jellyfish!
The ocean's aliens.
Honestly, there is no better description. So today we're talking about how jellyfish actually work, some of the coolest species out there, and why they've been so ridiculously successful for hundreds of millions of years.
And of course, we've collected some of the weirdest jellyfish facts we could find.
And there are some weird ones. Let's dive in.
Let's start with something I don't think jellyfish get enough credit for. These things are old, and I don't mean dinosaur old. We're talking about an animal family tree that goes back more than 500 million years ago.
Which is absolutely insane when you put that into perspective. Jellyfish were drifting around Earth's oceans before dinosaurs existed, before sharks, even before trees.
Imagine being a jellyfish 500 million years ago just floating around like, sure, there's something more advanced will eventually replace me.
And then 500 million years later, they're still here.
No upgrades necessary.
And what's especially interesting is how simple their basic body plan is. Jellyfish belong to the phylum Cnidaria, which means they're related to corals and sea anemones. And depending on the species, their bodies can be found around 95% water.
They also don't have bones, lungs, blood, or a heart. Instead of having a centralized brain like we do, they have something called a nerve net.
Which is crazy. It's basically a network of nerve cells throughout the body that allows them to sense their surroundings and coordinate behaviors like swimming and feeding.
So when we're calling them brainless, that doesn't mean that they're completely incapable of responding to whatever's happening around them.
Yeah, exactly. Their nervous system is just organized completely different from ours. And somehow that relatively simple setup has apparently worked for hundreds of millions of years.
Which is kind of iconic.
No, it really is. Of course, we can't talk about jellyfish without talking about the thing they're probably most famous for.
Their tentacles.
Yes, and more specifically, the sting that follows the tentacles.
Jellyfish belong to a group of animals called cnidarians, and one of those defining features is a specialized stinging cell called cnidocytes. Inside those cells are microscopic structures called, this is a word that I'm going to struggle with.
Nematocysts.
My mind don't want to say it. Yeah, I'm not going to try.
And the nematocysts. You know what? Pause. Let's give our girl a round of applause. That was a lot of big words. And I couldn't have done that. So go, Reece. Go, Reece.
Say it.
I know. And the easiest way to picture those is basically tiny spring-loaded harpoons, honestly. And when they're triggered, they fire incredibly quickly and can inject venom into whatever made contact with them.
Which sounds terrifying when we describe it like that.
Oh, it does. Tiny venom harpoons does sound pretty aggressive.
But it's important to remember that jellyfish didn't evolve those cells specifically to ruin your beach vacation. They use them to catch prey and defend themselves.
Oh, exactly. And depending on the species, they might be eating plankton, crustacean, fish eggs, larvae, or small fish. We're usually just unfortunate giants who accidentally bump into them.
And here's your friendly reminder, everyone, that even a jellyfish washed up on the beach, and the detached tentacles may still have a stinging cell capable of firing.
Oh, yeah. So our love your ocean advice is don't poke the jellyfish.
Please don't poke the jellyfish. Now let's get into the fun part, because jellyfish covers a ridiculous variety of animals.
And they do not all look like the clear, generic jellyfish you probably picture in your head. So we're picking a few of our favorites.
I'll start with most people have probably seen before. That's called the moon jellyfish. They're one of those completely transparent jellyfish that you see in like the aquariums all the time, usually with the 4 little horseshoe-shaped structures visible inside the bell.
Yeah, they're so pretty. I actually saw some when I was in Belize. I'll put a video right here. They look like little floating UFOs.
They do. And those 4 little pretty shapes everyone can see, those are their reproductive organs.
Which makes every aquarium visit slightly different now.
You're welcome. Moon jellyfish are also in the coastal waters much around the world. And compared with some other jellyfish species, their sting generally isn't particularly like dangerous or venomous to humans.
So we're starting cute because it's about to escalate. My turn. Okay, we're going to talk about a crazy one, and that's the lion's mane jellyfish. This is one of the largest known jellyfish species, and these things can get massive. The bell itself can grow to more than 6 feet across in exceptional individuals, and the tentacles can extend for tens of meters.
Which is a part I have a problem with, because you could see the jellyfish and still have absolutely no idea that you're still in that tentacle territory.
Oh yeah, I know. The tentacles can be ridiculously long, and there can be hundreds of them arranged beneath the bell.
It gives haunted chandelier vibes.
That's actually incredibly accurate.
You're welcome, everyone. Okay, so I'm taking this one purely because of the name, the fried egg jellyfish.
These things are cool. Probably one of the best animal names we've ever been given.
The name makes perfect sense when you see this photo. Here's a photo of it. They are like raised. They have like a raised yellow center by like a light color bell. So it generally looks like someone cracked an egg directly into the ocean.
Evolution was apparently hungry that day.
Yeah, kind of how I am right now too.
Same girl.
They're actually very beautiful though. Like some of these species, commonly called like a fried egg jellies, also have been have long, colorful appendages underneath them that actually make them way more bizarre.
Yeah, this is one of those animals where if someone showed me a picture and said, "Hey, we found this on another planet," I'd probably believe them.
Me too.
Which brings us to another one that barely looks real, and that's the flower hat jelly. These guys are stunning, honestly. They look like something from Avatar. They have brightly colored tentacles that curl around the edge of their bell, so they almost look like they're decorated with tiny neon ribbons.
And we've established a rule on this podcast, everyone. If something in nature looks pretty,
be suspicious.
Exactly, because flower hat jellies can deliver a painful sting.
Admire from a respectful distance.
This is a rule that everybody should do with any type of wildlife.
Very, very true.
Drum roll, please. The one that everyone's been waiting for. The box jellyfish. There are multiple species of box jellyfish, and while not every species poses the same risk, some possess extremely potent venom and can be dangerous to humans.
But here's the part I think is even more fascinating. It's their eyes.
Because box jellyfish can have 24 eyes. It's crazy.
24?
And they're not all identical either. Their eyes include different types capable of different visual functions.
Which is one of those moments where jellyfish biology starts sounding made up.
No brain, 24 eyes.
Evolution, literally explain yourself.
What if I told you that one beautiful piece of jewelry could support women across the world? Meet the Zenfreblue Peridot Collection, ocean-inspired jewelry handcrafted by talented women artisans in Indonesia. Our founder, Bev, had the opportunity to meet these incredible women and see their craftsmanship firsthand. And every purchase goes even further, supporting these artisans while helping fund Zenfreblue's Women in Blue Science Scholarship Fund, creating opportunities for young women pursuing marine science, conservation, and the blue economy. Support women, support our ocean, give a gift that gives back. Shop the Zenfreblue Peridot Collection today and wear something beautiful that makes a difference.
Okay, we've officially reached my favorite part of the episode.
Mine too.
It's time for...
What's
the jelly?
Our collection of facts that make both of us stop researching and go, there's absolutely no way that's real.
Except they are. Let's go.
Okay. Some jellyfish produce their own light through bioluminescence, chemical reactions inside their bodies allowing them to create light. And bioluminescence can serve different functions in the ocean.
It can be used defensively for communication or to confuse predators depending on the animal. And in the deep ocean, where sunlight doesn't reach, watching one of these animals suddenly light up has to be one of the closest things we've seen to seeing an alien.
I know. No brain, no heart, built-in mood lighting.
This one is probably my favorite, and it's the immortal jellyfish.
And before everyone gets too excited, immortal does not mean that these things are floating around since the dinosaurs. They can still be eaten, get sick, or die.
But under certain stressful conditions, an adult can actually revert back into an earlier stage of its life cycle, essentially going from its matured Medusa stage back towards its polyp stage. It's so weird.
Which is insane, everyone. Most animals go, baby, adult, old, dead.
Right? This jellyfish said, actually, let's try that again. It's crazy.
Let's rewind it. We're going from old dead to baby.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, I'm making you do this one, Taylor.
Gladly. Jellyfish have a gastrovascular cavity where digestion takes place, but there's a catch. They don't have a separate mouth and anus like we do.
Meaning?
Food enters and waste leaves through the same hole.
Beautiful, majestic, ancient, and, disgusting.
Welcome to nature. Some jellyfish populations gather in enormous numbers called blooms. And these aren't always just a couple extra jellies floating around. We're talking potentially huge concentrations.
Large blooms can interfere with fishing, tourism, aquaculture, and even coastal infrastructures.
There have been situations where masses of jellyfish clogged water intake systems used by power facilities.
Imagine having to explain that one. Why did everything shut down? Jellyfish.
The blobs have taken control.
They controlled us. And despite looking like they're just floating around with absolutely no plan.
Relatable.
Jellyfish are surprisingly efficient swimmers. They move by contracting like their muscles in their bell to push through the water.
And research into their movement has shown just how energy efficient that pulsing system can be. They can also take advantage of currents, which means they don't have to constantly fight the ocean to get around like other species do.
Everybody, they're doing exactly what we've been trying to do since the old age. Works smarter, not harder.
They have, and they've perfected it.
Yeah.
Now, we have spent a lot of this episode talking about how absolutely bizarre jellyfish are.
No, because they deserve it.
No, they really do. But there's another side of this conversation that's really important. Jellyfish aren't just weird floating blobs. They're part of marine ecosystems.
They're both predator and prey. Jellyfish consume things like zooplankton, fish eggs, larvae, crustaceans, and other fish, but plenty of animals do eat jellyfish as well.
Yeah, probably the most famous example is the leatherback sea turtle, which relies heavily on jellyfish and other gelatinous prey.
And that brings us to the conservation issue that most people listening have probably heard of before.
Plastic. Yep, a plastic bag floating through the ocean can look a lot like a jellyfish.
When the marine life ingest the plastic, it can cause internal injuries, blockages, malnutrition, and other serious problems.
Which is why plastic pollution isn't just an aesthetic problem. Our trash enters an ecosystem where animals are trying to interpret what is food and what isn't, and sometimes we've made those two things look almost identical.
There's another thing that we have to talk about because you've probably seen a massive headline at some point saying,
jellyfish are taking over the ocean. Jellyfish populations naturally fluctuate, and blooms have occurred long before modern human impacts. So seeing a jellyfish bloom doesn't automatically mean that something is wrong.
But human activity can change marine environments in ways that favor certain jellyfish populations.
Overfishing is one example. When fish that compete with jellyfish for food or species that prey upon them decline, the balance of that ecosystem can change.
Nutrient pollution can also contribute to low oxygen conditions in coastal waters. And some jellyfish tolerate those conditions better than other fish.
Yeah. Then when we have warming ocean temperatures, coastal development, artificial structures that can provide surfaces for some jellyfish polyps and other changes happening at the same time.
Yeah. So the takeaway isn't jellyfish bad.
Exactly. The better question is, what changed in this ecosystem? Because sometimes a shift in jellyfish abundance can be a part of a much bigger story about what's happening underwater.
I think that's what makes jellyfish so interesting. We spent the entire episode talking about all the things that they don't have. No bones, no heart, no lungs, no blood, no centralized brain.
Yeah, and yet they've been here for hundreds of millions of years, which I think completely changes the way we think about what makes an animal successful. Because we tend to associate success with complexity, being smarter, faster, stronger.
But nature doesn't necessarily work that way. If your body works for your environment, and that's what matters.
Yeah, sharks evolved incredible sensory systems. Whales involved complex communication and social behaviors. Octopuses developed remarkable problem-solving abilities.
You like how Taylor puts sharks in every single sentence? I don't.
Shush, I got to.
About jellyfish, Taylor. We're talking about jellyfish, not sharks. But everybody knows, jellyfish became mostly water.
And somehow actually crushed it.
For 500 million years.
Which is kind of amazing. And it's another reminder of why we love talking about the ocean so much. Every time you think you understand how life is supposed to work, the ocean gives you something completely different. So, guys, next time you see a jellyfish, whether it's drifting past you in the ocean or glowing under the lights at an aquarium, hopefully you can look at it a little differently.
Because the weird little floating blob represents a lineage that survived hundreds of millions of years on this planet.
And they play real roles in marine food webs and ecosystems.
They're predators, they're prey, some glow.
Some have venom.
Some have unreasonable number of eyes.
One can essentially reverse part of its life cycle.
And somehow they're still 95% water.
The ocean is ridiculous.
And that's exactly why we love it.
And that wraps up our August episode of Love Your Ocean. Make sure you're following Zen for Blue to keep up with our conservation work, educational programs, ocean adventures, and everything else we're getting into.
If you like this episode, please subscribe to the podcast because we got plenty more weird things about the ocean to talk about.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started. Until next time,
keep exploring,
keep learning, and keep loving your ocean.
And don't touch random jellyfish.
Actually, that's a pretty solid way to end this.
I'm officially crushing this co-host thing.
Girl, don't get ahead of yourself.
Too late.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Before you head back to shore, I'd love to stay connected. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram to keep up with our latest conservation projects, ocean adventures, educational programs, and behind-the-scenes moments. To learn more about our mission and discover ways to get involved, visit zenforblue.org. A special thank you to our sponsors and supporters. Your generosity helps us continue to inspire ocean stewardship through education, conservation, and connection. And thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Every listener, every conversation, and every action helps create a brighter future for our oceans. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep loving your ocean. I'll see you on the next dive.